To speak tonight as well, and
I'm not.
but I do want to say that our pastor and Miss Wiggins have been married 60 years, and more than half of that they have devoted to serving the Lord right here at Central Baptist Church, and we really are the beneficiaries of their faithfulness to the Lord. And what an example they are. The last time we were in here, we were doing the 50th anniversary, their 50th anniversary, and we said of our pastor that he was a man of honor and Miss Wiggins was a lady of grace. And things haven't changed at all, they've just gotten better, amen. And I just personally want to say, outside my own parents, I want to thank the two of you for such a great influence on my life. And I want you to know I love you very much. Miss Wiggins, I think the world of you. You truly are a lady of grace. And the things you say around the office that not everyone else gets to enjoy, I certainly have appreciated that over the years. And preacher, the literally thousands of hours of what I view as my real education in the ministry, sitting at your feet and learning from you. I want you to know I appreciate that very much. I love you, I honor you, and thank you for being the man of God that you are. Thank you for your and Miss Wiggins' example to these young couples that have gotten married. And Brother Emmanuel, we mentioned this the other night, that when we were having marriage counseling with he and Juliana, we asked, who is your, and this is what Emmanuel said, who is your example that you look to as far as marriage? And I told him, you don't have to say me and Miss Amy. He said, I wasn't going to. I said, I don't really like you much, but I do love you. But he said, no question about it, preacher Miss Wiggins. And what a testimony you all have. And you've made it work, not because everything was easy, but you've made it work because you love the Lord, you love one another, and you were just determined to make things work for His honor and His glory. Thank you very much.
Well, most of you know I don't really like standing in front of a crowd and speaking. And it's true, Tony, the deacons did know we were going to come up and speak, but you would think I would have used that to prepare some remarks. But I didn't. I'm sorry. I do want to wish my pastor, Janice, happy 60th anniversary. You know, you guys aren't just my pastor and you know, pastor's wife. You know, y'all have a very special, there's a very special significance beyond church in that, you know, you're the parents of my wife, the grandparents of my children, and, you know, we've been intertwined in this church family relationship now for 29 years. And I can tell you, you know, looking back on that time together, you know, it's been a good ride.
Amen.
We've had a great relationship. You know, I love you both. You know, my dad died almost 21 years ago. My mom passed almost 13 years ago. And so I don't have any parents to speak of, any biological parents. I do have a mother and a father-in-law, and you guys are as close to me as parents, and I love you just as much as I love my mom and dad.
Amen.
So I love you. Happy anniversary. Thank you.
I want to say happy anniversary to the preacher and Janice. I am curious though, you've been married 60 years, Janice. How many of them were happy years? Of course, I could ask the preacher the same question. So, but anyway, it's been an honor to be here as a member at the church here, to be a deacon and serve the folks here at Central Baptist Church. And you have been an excellent example, both as far as your relationship as a pastor's wife. And we've been very thankful. And I tell you, I pray for you guys every night. Pray for Janice, pray for preacher, and anybody ask for a prayer request, you got it. I'll pray for you. So, once again, I thank you, and happy anniversary, and the honeymoon just began.
I do remember Tony mentioning Wednesday night for me to say something, but I had dementia until he reminded me tonight, and all that good food just went south. One thing about Pastor is, over the years, I've always listened to his advice, except one time, and it got back to him. We were on our way to Georgia, and Mrs. Wiggins and I have some family, I don't know if we're related, but we have some family in a small town in Georgia. Pastor Wiggins gave me some directions on how to get there. About 1 o'clock in the morning, Luz and Jonathan were in the back, and I accidentally said, I wish I had not listened to Pastor Wiggins. The very next time Brent saw Pastor Wiggins, he says, guess what my dad said? He wished he had not listened to you. But other than that, I've always valued the advice that I've gotten from my pastor, and all the love that he gives to us. So from Luz and myself and our family, happy anniversary.
You're not the only one who has dementia, Ronnie. Preacher, Miss Wiggins, it's an honor and privilege for me to be as a deacon, to serve with the preacher and the other deacons, and for this church family. You know, I'm honored. My wife and family. You know, from us to you, just happy anniversary and many, many more. We love you, and I'm just thrilled that I'm part of this church and under the leadership of you guys. And so, happy anniversary. Thank you.
Happy anniversary, Pastor. Love you, Miss Wiggins.
Tony pointed at me, so I guess I'm in trouble. Well, it's good to be here tonight on this 60th anniversary, and I sure love you folks. I was just thinking, though, as you were preaching, what a friend we have in Jesus.
Amen.
And then I think of my pastor when I think of that song. You ever known anybody that kind of somewhat personified the Lord in your mind, reminded you of God, of Jesus? Well, he does. His faithfulness does. Janice's faithfulness. They've always been good friends to me. And he's always, as he said tonight, he knows me and he likes me anyway. I don't know why. I wake up at night. I wonder why he likes me. Makes you not trust somebody. Anyway, what a friend we have in Jesus. And as I said, he seems to personify Jesus to me. Because he's always faithful. Just faithful, faithful, faithful. And he's always a friend. And I have gone to him for advice very few times, but when I have, he's always given me good advice. It wasn't always what I wanted to hear, but it was good advice. And I took it, and I was glad. And I thank you for it. Wish you a happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary, preacher, Mrs. Wiggins. Most of you probably don't know this, but Mrs. Wiggins used to do the junior church 20 years ago. And my wife and I came here, and I went back and helped out, and she would do it one week, and I would preach the next week, and she would the next week, and back and forth. And then finally, the preacher said he wanted her out there. And so I've been doing junior church for 20 years. And preacher, this morning there were 67 boys and girls in here today. And that's because of building on what you had already started, Mrs. Wiggins, and your leadership and allowing me to work back here. I really appreciate that. It's my favorite time of the week is to be back here with the boys and girls. And he's never asked me, what are you teaching? What are you preaching? He's trusts me, and I appreciate that. And those boys and girls wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your leadership. And I appreciate the both of you, and happy anniversary.
Thank you.